The Central California lake returned to its old size after 40 years. People saw that Tulare Lake had come back like a ghost from the past. This ghost lake brought real danger for thousands of people in the valley. In 2023, the Central Valley faced disasters that no one expected to see. Thousands of farmland acres went underwater within only a few days. Hundreds of household wells became unsafe as water quality changed quickly. Roads cracked and buckled, which cut off several drought-prone small towns. The strange part was that these areas were not even close to any river. Scientists reported the ground had sunk 2 to 3 feet in many places. This sinking happened because of long-term groundwater pumping for farming. But the most shocking moment came from a short video recorded by locals. Rainwater did not flow downhill and instead rushed backward into new dips. These new low spots did not appear on any older hydrologic maps. Scientists realized the problem was deeper and more dangerous than expected. They asked what pushed the Central Valley to this breaking point now. They also wondered why the truth appeared only after the disaster began. A dry valley flooded without any warning during the early weeks of 2023. The rain kept falling, but it was not the kind that worried people before. The region is used to drought, so rain is normally welcomed with relief. But this time, after a few nights, something felt different across the valley. The dry, cracked soil absorbed water too fast and reacted strangely. Flat farm fields suddenly showed long streaks of pooling water everywhere. It seemed like an underground current rose directly beneath people's feet. From far away, the valley looked normal with farms stretching to the horizon. Most people did not know the land had been sinking for 40 years. The land dropped slowly every year, so residents hardly noticed any change. But when the storms arrived, the hidden truth became visible all at once. Large areas of Kings, Tulare, and Fresno counties had sunk several feet. This sinking was caused by heavy groundwater pumping during long droughts. Growers kept drilling deeper and pumping harder to save their crops. Every year, this pumping pulled the land downward little by little again. People only saw small hints like tiny cracks and low-flowing irrigation canals. Everyone thought these were normal problems in a large farming region. But the 2023 atmospheric rivers turned those tiny changes into a disaster. Water did not drain toward old rivers and moved into homes and yards. Some towns reported that water rose from below instead of falling from rain. Wells turned cloudy overnight, even the ones built higher than the ground. Residents captured footage showing water rushing into new unseen depressions. These dips were not on old maps because they had never existed before. Scientists then asked if the heavy rain was truly the main problem. Maybe the land had changed so much the old drainage system no longer worked. For decades, canals and levees controlled where water moved across the valley. The system worked when pumping was balanced and the land stayed steady. But once the land sank, the old drainage model stopped matching reality. Some canals now sloped the wrong way because of subsidence issues. This sent water backward and caused roads to wash out during storms. Crops failed and wells turned dirty every time heavy rain hit the valley. The rainy season was only the spark that exposed a deeper danger. The real threat came from the new landscape people created unintentionally. Small changes accumulated for years and became a major shift within days. When maps no longer match the land, even a normal storm becomes a threat. Researchers also found water moved in patterns no old model could predict. The idea of long-term stability suddenly seemed unsafe for everyone. A new plan then appeared which many believed could save the valley. This plan later created consequences no one could have imagined before. After the 2023 floods, people believed they had finally found a solution. The most repeated phrase in meetings and reports was managed aquifer recharge. The strategy sounded simple: capture floodwater and push it into the soil. This would refill groundwater that had been pumped out for many decades. Residents saw MAR as the last hope after years of worsening problems. They drilled wells during droughts and drilled deeper when wells went dry. They waited for state agencies to move water but saw little improvement. When people watched floodwater soaking slowly into recharge basins, they felt hope. Some early examples supported this hope, especially in Kern County monitoring wells. Groundwater levels rose slightly and experts called it a sign of recovery. Maps showed small green patches which symbolized aquifers starting to rebound. But these results did not tell the full story of the valley's condition. The soil had compacted and lost its ability to absorb water properly. Deep clay layers no longer opened or accepted water as they once did. Some places absorbed water fast while others barely absorbed any at all. Water drifted sideways into new low spots formed by years of sinking. This sideways movement created new unpredictable chains of effects everywhere. Another problem appeared when recharge water mixed with polluted farm areas. Nitrate from fertilizers was carried deeper into the aquifer during recharge. Many experts warned about this, but few people took it seriously before. Residents only realized the danger when wells changed color and smelled odd. Climate change added even more difficulty into the recharge system. MAR was built for steady rainfall, which California no longer receives. The new pattern brings long dry spells followed by sudden massive storms. Atmospheric rivers drop billions of gallons which MAR cannot handle quickly. Excess water spills into fields and canals and follows new unpredictable paths. Video footage showed water flowing into areas that sunk the most over time. Some of these new flows ended up near homes' patios and storage pits. Courtyards that never flooded before were suddenly filled with standing water. The scary part is that MAR did not fail but changed water movement silently. Recharge is redrawing the valley's water map in ways no one is tracking well. A solution built to fix old mistakes is creating new risky water patterns. Residents again saw the results first, even though they had no control. After another major storm, engineers returned to study damage across the valley. The first alarming signs were not visible on the surface anywhere. In Corcoran, the ground sank more than an inch in only a few months. The sinking pattern was uneven, suggesting the underground layers were shifting. Nitrate levels in Tulare wells jumped and Highway 99 developed new cracks. Nothing matched expectations that recharge would stabilize the landscape soon. Instead, it looked like a clock drifting out of time with hidden pressure below. New water from storms and recharge did not spread evenly into the soil. It pooled in sunken zones and moved downward, adding pressure to weak layers. Monthly subsidence maps showed deformation pockets forming right after storms. Researchers noticed water choosing new paths that did not match old history. This silent underground movement made people uneasy when reviewing footage. Water no longer respected its old routes and changed direction strangely. In the Relinda area, almond orchards stayed underwater for several weeks. Water did not drain or evaporate and the entire crop eventually died. Losses reached nearly $100 million for local growers. Residents asked why water remained even after clear skies for weeks. No one had a clear explanation for that strange long-lasting flooding. Farther north, many households reported pale yellow water from their taps. Some taps had a metallic taste and families grew concerned about safety. Tests showed rising nitrate bacteria presence and slightly increased arsenic. People living there for decades said their wells had never acted like this. Now something deep underground was moving and disturbing old stable layers. Some hydrologists shared a cautious idea about what might be happening underground. They said forcing large amounts of water into the ground can disturb old layers. These layers sometimes release agricultural chemicals that were trapped for decades. Scientists had around 70% confidence in this explanation at the time. People understood that adding water does not always mean cleaning the land. Another research group focused on the long canal network across the valley. Those canals were designed assuming the soil under them would stay stable forever. But when land sinks unevenly, the slopes of canals begin to shift. Some sections slow down the flow while others suddenly speed it up. Several places even saw water gently spilling over the canal banks. A video from late 2023 showed water flowing backward unexpectedly. Local residents said they had never witnessed such a strange sight before. This raised new questions in community meetings about water behavior. People asked where the water was going and why new areas flooded. They wondered if recharge was quietly rewriting the valley's natural flow paths. No scientist offered a final answer, but no one denied major changes. Engineers compared old maps with new ones and saw unsettling patterns developing. The water was no longer following the familiar paths built decades ago. It looped in circles in some sections and chased new low points elsewhere. These harmless-looking paths could decide where the next flood happens. Subsidence maps showed another growing problem across the region. Some spots were sinking faster than everything around them, forming new basins. Water was increasingly drawn toward neighborhoods built on these sinking areas. A few scientists called this an artificial landscape shaped by human choices. When the land changes shape, they said the water changes its direction too. The main question stopped being what caused each event individually. People began asking what would happen when the next rainy season arrives. If water chooses its own routes, the consequences will soon reach communities. They will affect homes, the economy, and the health of every family. No one can predict which domino in this chain will fall next. After the rainy season ended, the unsettling changes did not stop. People noticed thin cracks on doorsteps and small sinking patches in yards. Some fields stayed wet for days as if holding hidden underground water. Each sign looked harmless alone but worrying when seen together. It felt like nature was quietly rearranging systems pushed too far. The first layer of escalation appeared beneath home foundations everywhere. Soil began eroding in strange directions even without heavy rainstorms present. Underground flows searched for new paths after old streams were modified earlier. In some places the ground dropped several inches within a single season. Elsewhere, water unexpectedly bubbled into backyards through unseen channels underground. People understood the ground was no longer as trustworthy as before. The second layer of impact appeared in the valley's fragile economy. Insurance companies updated risk maps and marked many new areas unsafe. Premiums increased sharply and many homes became uninsurable for the first time. One family tried selling their house but no buyer even visited. They were trapped because everyone feared sudden flooding in their neighborhood. The third layer of collapse reached into public health and daily life. Underground flow shifts carried minerals and chemicals long settled in soil. Some wells turned pale yellow and carried a sharp metallic smell. Others caused burning skin after washing and increased clinic visits. Retirees on fixed incomes struggled to buy bottled water every month. The fourth layer grew from changes in the natural environment itself. Native forests had been replaced by shallow-rooted crops and grasses. These plants could not hold soil during heavy storms like forests could. Researchers saw increasing erosion scars growing across hillsides every season. Forests can hold tens of thousands of gallons of stormwater naturally. Plowed lands absorb only a small amount before water races downhill. When soil is lost, water flows faster and erodes even more land. This loop strengthens itself and becomes extremely hard to stop responsibly. The fifth layer appeared in the way communities reacted to everything. People wanted to move but could not sell their damaged properties. Others wished to stay but no longer trusted the ground beneath them. Small towns became places where ordinary people carried consequences of past decisions. Every rainy season they watched distant hills with fear and uncertainty. They waited to see which direction the next rush of water chooses. No one could predict what the valley would face in coming years. Once water rewrites its path, the future does not follow human plans. People asked whether the next failure would involve soil, water, or homes. They wondered if the valley's farming future could survive major instability. The region stood between fragility and hope after months of shifting water. No perfect solution existed, but people tried slowing the worsening situation. Recharge remained important, but methods changed to reduce ground pressure. Engineers spread water across many shallow areas instead of deep basins. Trials showed slower infiltration disturbed soil less and reduced uneven sinking. It was not a breakthrough but a gentler way of managing recharge. Some regions restored natural flood zones that existed decades before irrigation. Allowing water to spread and slowly drain reduced sudden dangerous flood pulses. It looked messy from far away but felt safer for residents living nearby. Hydrology teams also searched for old underground channels using new sensors. Mapping these conduits might help avoid disturbing sensitive parts of the aquifer. Communities took smaller steps that gave them a sense of control. Neighbors shared well tests and created funds to help buy clean water. Families built small barriers to protect their remaining topsoil from erosion. These actions could not fix the entire region but helped emotionally. People felt less helpless while facing large forces beyond their control. Every solution felt temporary, like thin ropes holding a shifting structure. The central question remained whether the valley was healing or declining. Was stability returning, or were people simply delaying a larger collapse? The groundwater and management system seemed unable to stand alone. A faint light appeared as people reconsidered long-standing habits. Sunlight returned and the valley looked peaceful but still unstable. The ground no longer held steady and water resisted old pathways. Communities sensed they were living in a transition zone shaping itself. Most problems came from decades of small choices made each dry year. Wells drilled deeper and canals adjusted gradually reshaped the valley. These choices formed a picture no one planned but everyone inherited. Now water redraws its map and old models may no longer apply. The question is whether past methods still work in today's climate. People asked how the land could feed them without harming itself. This question lies at the center of every discussion happening now. The valley's future depends on understanding caution and changing old habits. So people ask whether recovery is possible or decline will continue. Will water keep choosing its own path or follow human guidance again? Can anyone ever fully predict where water will go in future seasons? In a changing landscape, this basic question may never have one answer.